Good morning. I'm back. I'm Nelson Forbuena, your instructor sa Drug Education and Vice Control. Last time, nabitin po yung video natin kasi medyo mahina po yung connection. But now, malakas po ang connection kasi nasa King of Thrones ako. Tingnan nyo naman yung background. King of Thrones. Nasa trono po ako ngayon. Okay? So, good morning, and we will continue the topic regarding drug education. So, last time we discussed the toxicology, how drugs are administered, how drugs work, lahat po yan nakasali. And at the same time, the some medical uses of drugs. So, we discussed the analgesic, drugs that relieve pain, the antibiotics, the antipyretics, antihistamine, the contraceptives, the congestant, expectorant, laxatives, sedatives, tranquilizers, and lastly, vitamins. Those are what we call the medical uses of drugs. So we defined only last time about the general definition ng drugs natin. So we will now start sa next topic natin. So history tayo, in the general history of drugs. Okay. But before the history, i-share ko muna yung screen natin. Yung iba? Yan. Yan. Kita nyo na. Medyo palakihin natin para mas maganda. May virus pa. Ano ba yan? Yun. So, ano muna yung drug abuse? So, the drug abuse, that is the use of illegal drugs or the inappropriate use of legal drugs. What does it mean? For as long as you are using illegal drugs, just like cocaine, morphine, codeine, ecstasy, or other prohibited drugs, then that is drug abuse. Or kahit legal drugs yan, pero inappropriate yung paggamit mo ng drugs na yan, that is considered a drug abuse. While drug addiction, that is the uncontrollable use of drugs and the inability to stop using drugs in spite of health or social consequences. Yan po yung drug addiction. Kaya magkaiba po yung drug abuse at drug addiction. Yung drug abuse, mga use of illegal drugs or inappropriate, mali. Kahit legal yung drugs, mali yung mga paggamit mo, yung pagka-administer, then that is considered drug abuse. While drug addiction, that is the uncontrollable use of drugs, even though it is legal or illegal, drug addiction. So, violation of dangerous drug, especially 9165, is a malum prohibitum. When they say malum prohibitum, that is the act such as selling, transporting, or possessing of dangerous drugs is punishable because there is a law punishing a crime. Malum prohibitum. Kaya pag nagtra-transport ka, mayroon kang hawak na drugs, or you are in possession of that drugs, that is already a violation. Because there is a law punishing possession of dangerous drugs. Okay. So, in the concept of drug abuse, yan. Bakit ba nagiging dependent tayo? Bakit ba nagiging psychologically addicted tayo sa isang drugs? So, ang number one dyan, we have there the euphoria. Yan. Yung compulsion para mag-take ka ng drugs. Parang mayroong nagpupush sa'yo na gamitin mo yung drugs na yan. So, once that you take drugs, nagkakaroon ka ng tolerance sa katawan mo. Hindi mo na, example, konti lang yung tinik mong drugs, then after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, medyo dumadami na. Nagiging tolerable na yung drugs sa katawan mo. Once na naging tolerable yan, it can lead to addiction. Especially physical addiction. And once na na-addict ka, then nagiging dependent ka na. Psychological addiction na yan. It means that you cannot function without the taking of drugs. Ganyan po yung concept of drug abuse. Konti-konti, then until na-addict ka, until naging dependent ka na, hindi ka na makapagtrabaho pag hindi ka na nakainom, hindi ka na makapagtrabaho pag hindi ka na naka-drugs. Ibig sabihin, psychologically addicted ka na. Psychological addiction. At mahirap pong alisin po yan. Yan po yung drug abuse natin. Kaya drug abuse, that is the wrongful, improper, illegal use of any drug. It can be illegal use of any drug. That is a drug abuse. So there are categories of what we call or classification of drugs according to its effects. We have the depressant. Depressant is also called mga downers. Stimulants, also called mga uppers. And hallucinogen, that is the psychedelic. Pag tinawag ng depressant yan or downers, kasi once you take drugs, na depressant drugs, nare-relax yung muscle mo. Pamparelax ko nada. That is a downers. That is why alcohol is sometimes called a depressant drugs. Alcohol. Kaya pag marami kang nainom na alcohol, ano nang mangyayari? Inaantok ka na. Parang ganyan. Stimulants, uppers, ito yung pampagising. Katulad ng kape. Yung mga taxi driver sa gabi, they are taking shabu. Kasi stimulants, magigising sila. And hallucinogen, that is the psychedelic drugs. Yan. Psychedelic. Bakit tinawag ng mga psychedelic? Kasi once you take that drugs, iba-iba na yung mga nakikita mo. Ibang kulay. O iba yung nakikita, nagkakaroon ka ng hallucinogen. Yan. So, in the history of drugs, we have number 1 there. History of drugs. The Holy Bible is a very reliable source of illegal drugs. When we trace the early use and abuse of narcotics, makikita po sa Holy Bible na yan. So, the book of Judges of the Old Testament revealed that the mighty Samson, Samson and Delilah, si Samson was put to sleep by Delilah. Was put to sleep. Bakit? Hindi niya kasi malaman kung saan galing yung lakas ni Samson. Kaya anong ginawa ni Delilah? Pinainom niya ng alak. Once na pinainom niya ng alak, si Samson or yung tinatawag nilang drug-laced wine, nung nakainom na, siyempre pag nakainom yung isang tao, malalaman po at tatanungin mo, sasabihin niya minsan yung kanyang mga sekreto. So anong nangyari kay Samson and Delilah? Sinabi niya yung sekreto niya na yung lakas niya ay galing sa kanyang buhok. And that is the time Delilah cut the hair of Samson. And because of the drug-laden wine na yan, or drug-laced wine, nalaman niya na yung lakas ni Samson ay galing pala doon sa kanyang buhok. And that was the time she cut the hair of Samson. Kaya noon pa man, sa Bible na, talagang medyo rampant na yung pag-take nila ng drugs. And we consider alcohol as a drugs also. Yeah. Aside from Samson and Delilah, if you know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah. So in Sodom and Gomorrah, this lead to the yung city na yan. City kasi yan, Sodom and Gomorrah. And what was the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah is that it was homosexuality. That is how the term sodomy came to be used to refer to anal sex between two men, whether consensual or forced. Clearly, homosexuality was part of why God destroyed the two cities. Kasi sa Sodom and Gomorrah, they wanted to perform homosexual gang rape onto angels who were disguised as men. Nagdrodroga da kanoidi, jay Sodom and Gomorrah, lahat nagshashot, mayroong dalawang anghel daw na nagkatawang mga tao. Yan, tinira damutan. That is a homosexual gang. Kaya nagalit daw si God, kaya binurn niya yung Sodom and Gomorrah. You can find that doon po sa Bible. It is not biblical to say that homosexuality was the exclusive reason why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were definitely not in exclusive in terms of sins in which they indulge. Kasi under the Sodom and Gomorrah, kahit mga animal, tertiraan day giant. Mayroong mga rape na nangyayari, lahat ng mga lust, rape, lahat ng mga katarantaduan ginawa nila, kaya nagalit daw si God, kaya medyo sinira niya yung city na yan, Sodom and Gomorrah. Next, even in literature, kay Mark Antony and Cleopatra, diba? Mark Antony and Cleopatra, in desperation over his deprived love, drank a narcotic-laden wine before allowing herself to be beaten to death by poisonous snake. Yan, namatay siya dahil sa kagat ng ahas. The story of Cleopatra has captured the people's mind and imagination for hundreds of years. It is a tale fraught with drama and sensation. So, Cleopatra died in 30 BC, most likely by the snake. Kasi the two snakes could have been killed her were the Egyptian cobra. It was rumored that she committed suicide as she was getting old. But it was actually because her husband, Mark Antony, died. Kaya medyo pakamatay. So, naglason. O medyo nag-shot the drug-laden wine tapos nagpakalat sa ahas. She killed herself. She let a snake bite her chest. She did this after Mark killed himself at the age of 39. Yeah. Yan po yung mangyayari. Even may story pa kay Emperor Nero, di ba? He poisoned his mother. He burned Rome with accompaniment of fire. O kay Emperor Nero. Kaya noon pa, talagang nagdudroga na po yung mga tao yan. Hanggang pinoison na dyan, mother na, at talagang sinunog niya yung entire Rome. Habang nasusunog yan, patugtutugtog pa siya kasi nakadroga na pala. Yeah. Even in the oracles and magic, lahat po yan, mayroon na droga na mangyayari yan. Another, marijuana. Marijuana is the oldest cultivated plant. Oldest cultivated plant, even antedate yung mais, yung tinatawag nilang corn, marijuana. It is considered by the Assyrian as the early Assyrians as a sacred tree. Yan, the Assyrians called it a sacred tree. Kaya yung marijuana, bagada nga sacred tree di. Kasi pag gusto nilang talagang mag-hallucinate, gusto nilang makita yung Diyos daw, noong unang panahon, nagtitake sila ng marijuana. Saan sila kumukuha? Sa tree na yan. Pag kinuha yung mga leaves, at pinatuyo at medyo tinira dandiay, then what will happen? Nakikita daw nilang ang Diyos. Pero hindi nila alam, they are hallucinating. Yan yung sabi ng mga Assyrians. Kaya sinasamba nila ang marijuana plant or marijuana tree na yan. That is the sacred tree. Makunada ng Assyrians. So, bakit sacred tree? That is the source of happiness or laughter provoker yung marijuana. Kaya pag nakatake ng marijuana, ulit na kita, katawa na katawa. Kasi yun isa sa mga epekto ng marijuana. And isa sa mga, the word hashish is derived from the word Hassan or Hashashin. They are a Muslim leader. Hashish refers to a female marijuana plant. Yan, marijuana. And alam niyo ba yung marijuana, it is legal. Some state in America, legal po yung pagtitake ng marijuana. On yung konti-konti lang, nabibili po yan. Yung other state, hindi naman lahat ng state sa Amerika ay legal ang marijuana. Ang marijuana sa state, ginagamit nila panggamot sa kanilang mga sakit. But here in the Philippines, if you are caught in possession of marijuana, then you are criminally liable. Pwede kang makulong. You are violating RA 9165. And we know that marijuana is a prohibited drug. Prohibited drug. Dahil illegal drug. Pero in America, marijuana is used as a medicine. So, yung hashish or hashashin, doon nila kinuha yung word na assassin. Kasi yung mga tao noon, pag gusto nilang pumatay ng tao, yan, nagtitake sila ng hashish, nagtitake ng marijuana para tumurudda. Kaya taken from the word na assassin. Next, you also have there the opium poppy plant. So in the opium poppy plant, Hippocrates or Hippocrates, he is the father of medicine. Hippocrates. He prescribed the use of the opium poppy plant for internal and external illness. No agsakit ti tiyan, ti may nga tao, hindi, kuha lang sila ng juice ng opium poppy plant. Ititake nila yan, mawawala yung sakit ng tiyan nila. And we know that opium poppy plant, ang mai-extract mo doon ay cocaine, na isa sa mga illegal drugs. Opium poppy plant. So goes back 7,000 years BC, it was already cultivated and prepared by the Sumerians. Kaya nga Sumerians, kaya nga si Hippocrates, father of medicine yan Mabalik ka nung maka-cure. Plants was first harvested in Mesopotamia. Yung Mesopotamia, parang Iraq ata yan, Iraq. So, ganyan po yung itsura ng opium poppy plant. So, ang gagawin nila, yung opium pod na yan, yung opium pod, they will slice. I-slice nila, ganyan, diagonally, i-slice nila. And once na na-slice yan, lalabas po yung dagta, yung tutot. At yung tutot na yan, yung dagta na yan, this will serve now as a raw opium. Raw, no kunada nga raw opium, yan po yung raw opium na yan, makakagawa na sila ng morphine, codeine, at heroin. Yan yung pwede mong makuha dyan po sa opium poppy plant. Kaya sa I'm sorry, India, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, imbis na palay ang itatanim, ang tinatanim nila ay mga opium poppy plant. Kasi madali lang itanim yan doon. Pag tinanim nila yan, within 120 days, pwede nang i-harvest yan. Pwede lang pagkuhanan ng mga raw opium. At yung raw opium na yan, ibebenta nila ng mga medyo mahal. Pero pag raw opium, ganyan, pumupunta yung US, yung mga iba't ibang bansa pumupunta dyan para lang makabili ng raw opium. Example, nabili nila ng $1,000 yung raw opium ng 1 kilo. Once na pre-process yan, magiging $100,000. Kaya what will happen? Kaya sinasabi nila, yung illegal drugs is an astronomical na business. Pag gusto mong yumaman, bigla, yung napakayaman, mag-business ka ng drugs. Yan, astronomical ka no dahil. Kung natang astronomical, ay, nagngato nga talaga. talagang takablubong kano iti batnang mo, no, nagkuha ka ti drugs. Yan, yung opium na yan. So, kaya sa Afghanistan, usually mga bata yung nagko-collect ng mga raw opium. Kaya titingnan sa presentation dyan, makikita yung bata, kinukuha yung raw opium. So, opium is spread out in China, Mesopotamia, and it's spread out in China. And Emperor Yongchen, kasi marami nang nagtitake ng mga opium sa China, prohibited the smoking of opium. Kaya sabi ni Emperor Yongchen, oh, kayo mga inchik kayo, itigil nyo na yung pag-smoke ng opium. Nagalit si Emperor Yongchen. And since nagalit siya, siyempre yung taga-British, sila yung nagsusupply ng opium sa China. Pina-stop niya. This now triggered the Opium War of 1840. Nagalit yung mga yung Britain. Nagalit sila sa China kaya nagkaroon ng Opium War. Noong unang panahon, malakas pa yung mga Britain. Kaya talo yung mga China. Kaya nga sabi nila, since nalugi kami, sabi ng Britain, bayaran nyo kami. Kaya anong ginawa ng China? Sabi nga nila, ibinigay sa kanila yung Hong Kong. If you are familiar sa Hong Kong, hawak noon yan ng Britain. Pero ngayon, bumalik na yan na hawak na ng China. Yan, triggered the Opium War of 1840. Opium Wars, 1839 to 1842, Opium War smuggled by merchants from British India into China in defiance of Chinese prohibition laws. China is defeated in both wars. Bakit? Medyo mahina pa noon yung mga China. Wala pa silang mga superpower. Ang may superpower lang noon ay taga-Britain, yung mga British. China loses their ethnocentric belief. Yeah. So the British came to China demanding that they be allowed trade freely. When denied, they sold opium to the Chinese people in Port City and they were allowed to trade. The British also refused to stop selling the drug and more people become addicted in China. This conflict continued until Chinese Emperor. Sabi niya, wala na, itigil na natin yan. So he ordered the ship holding opium to be destroyed. This started the war. As a result, China had to allow Europeans free trade and give up Hong Kong. Kaya yung Hong Kong, hawak noon ng Britain kasi pinambayad nila yan. Kasi pina-stop nila yung pag-import ng opium. During the first Opium War, 19,000 British fought against 200,000 Chinese. So 19,000 versus 200,000. The Chinese had 20,000 casualties. Yung British, 69 lang. Kaya the war marked the start of the century of humiliation. Kababain. Kaya China. Nagaduda na abak naman. Pero ngayon, wag ka. Yung mga China talagang superpower na yan. So Friedrich Cerner discovered the morphine. They are the first derivative of opium. Ang unang makukuha mo doon sa raw opium ay yung morphine. And yung morphine na yan, it is called morphium. Morphium. Then, they changed it to morphine from Greek god of dream, I'm sorry, Morpheus. Yan. Kaya lang, yung mga sundalo noon na-addict sa mga morphine. Kaya dati pagbaga ng soldiers' disease. During Civil War, in America, pag mayroon ng bakbakan na nangyari, lumalabas yung mga bituka nila, lahat yung mga paa nila naalis, ini-injection na yan ng morphine. Kaya noon, every soldier mayroon ng hawak na mga pang-injection na morphine. Eh wala pang bakbakan, ini-inject na ng mga sundalo, kaya na-addict sila. Kaya tinawag na soldier's disease ang morphine. Meron silang soldier's disease. Kaya tingnan dyan sa PowerPoint presentation, napakarami pong namatay. Another personality which involved in drug is Alder Wright. Alder Wright discovered heroin. Heroin. Yung pangalang heroin is diacetyl morphine. Yan yung chemical name ng heroin. Heroin is diacetyl morphine. They are called the miracle drug. Discovered by Alder Wright, a British scientist. Miracle drug can cure opium and morphine addiction. Kasi na-addict na noon yung mga tao sa opium at morphine, so nag-invento sila ng isa pang drugs na pwedeng panlaban sa addiction ng opium at morphine, and that is the heroin. Kaya tinawag ang heroin na miracle drug. So, miracle, hero. Kaya tinawag na heroin, hero. They have an impressive power. Hero. And also, yan, makita sa screen. A heroin can be in the liquid and it can be in the powder form. It can be injected or it can be inhaled through doon sa bukal, doon po sa gilagid. Ini-inject yan. Nilalagyan nila ng tourniquet yung kamay nila. Dito sa braso, nilalagyan ng tourniquet yan. At ini-inject. Pag in-inject, alisin yung tourniquet yan. Diretso mismo sa kanilang ulo, ang lakas po ng tama. Yan. Yung diacetyl morphine. Another is codeine. Codeine is the third derivative of opium. That is the codeine. Codeine, ingredients in most cough syrup. Karamihan, cough syrup yan. Yung codeine. Kaya yung mga gamot sa ubo, especially cough syrup, kailangan mayroong prescription ng doktor. Karamihan. Kasi, sorry. Kaya ako nga, kailangan ko ng codeine. Ubo-ubo ako eh. So, ingredients in most cough syrup yan. Kaya meron noong Formula 4440 na cough syrup. Yung iba noon, take ng cough syrup. Meron akong kilalang ganyan. Kamag-anak ko pa. Nagtitake ng mga cough syrup. Yung nagtake ng cough syrup, na-addict, awanan. At natama dyan yung ulo nan. Medyo nabaliw because of cough syrup. Na-addict siya eh. Yan, cough syrup. Promet with codeine cough syrup. So in the history, yun ang history of drug abuse in the world. Hindi lang world, meron din dito sa Pilipinas. So in the Philippines, in 1844, the Spanish government sold opium to Chinese users. 1844, siyempre meron ng mga opium dito sa Pilipinas. In 1901, the Americans took over the rule of the country. Kasi nga nawala yung mga Spanish, pumasok po yung Amerikano. And in 1906, the Americans allowed Chinese to obtain a license to use opium in their home for a fee of 5 pesos. Kung gusto mong mag-take ng opium noong 1906, ang bayad ka parang tax na 5 pesos. And in 1908, binan na nila yung opium, total ban of opium kasi nakaka-addict nga eh. And because of RA 953 in 1953, it provided the registration of collection, giveaway of marijuana, opium poppies, and coca leaves, or any synthetic drugs which may be declared as habit forming. Kaya yung mga coca leaves, yung mga marijuana, kailangan ipa-register yan. But in January 1959, conducted the first marijuana raid in Pasay. Lumabas po sa board exam yan noon, 1959. What is the place wherein they conducted the first marijuana raid dyan po sa Pasay. And in 1972, March 30, 1972, RA 6425, the Dangerous Drugs Act of 1972. Sino ang nag-sign yan? Kung alam nyo sinong presidente, of course, si Ferdinand Marcos. The Dangerous Drugs Act of 1972, wherein he classified 3 mga drugs. We have the prohibited, regulated drugs. Yeah. And in history of drug abuse in the Philippines, President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo signed RA 9165 on June 7, 2002 and took effect July 4, 2002. That is why we have the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. Ito yung mas may ngipin na batas compared doon po sa RA 6425. Kaya pag naulian ka ngayon ng mga 10 grams ng mga shabu, ecstasy, then mataas po yung mga penalty. Was signed June 7, 2002, published June 19, 2002, and took effect July 4, 2002. General Arturo Cacdac, the Chief PDEA, was appointed October 12, 2012. Si La Peña naman. Pero hindi ko na alam kung sino ngayon yung current PDEA director natin. So, one of the, meron po tayo 2014 Republic Act 10640. They amended some of the provisions of RA 9165. Isa po sa mga panyan, inamend nila. Yan yung history ng drug abuse dito po sa Pilipinas. Because we all know that drug abuse is, sabi ko nga, astronomical na business yan. Kung gusto mong biglang yumaman, then you have to involve in dealing or selling drugs because it will take only a few minutes to be able to have thousands of pesos in your pocket. But if you are, pero pag mga ordinary ka lang, wala, hindi kayaman. Kaya nga pag nakikita natin yung iba, biglang yumaman, malalaki yung bahay, wala namang trabaho, then they are involved in illegal activities natin. Marami silang pinagkukuhanan po ng mga droga. Yan. So ano ba yung first traffic drug route natin? So in the first traffic drug route, we have there the Middle East. First traffic drug route, Middle East. Usually in Middle East, dyan po yung discovery. Dyan po yung tinatawag nilang discovery. Middle East, that is the what we call mga discovery nila sa Middle East. Yung traffic drug route na yan, dyan nila sila sa Middle East, usually doon sila nagtatanim. Doon sila nagko-cultivate, nagka-harvest ng mga droga. Kaya tingnan yung mga Afghanistan, India, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq. Usually they are planting opium. Bakit yung Afghanistan? Napakaraming mga baril, napakaraming mga armas. Kasi nga, nagtatanim sila ng mga droga doon. At yung droga, binebenta nila pambili ng mga armas. Kaya kahit mayroong gera, napakarami nilang mga armas. Saan sila kumukuha? Diyan. Cultivation, plantation of illegal drugs. Especially opium. Ganyan. So sa Middle East yan. Isa example, doon sila nagplant. Sir, sino naman ang kukuha ngayon dyan? So papasok na po dyan yung Turkey. That is the preparation for distribution. Yan. Middle East, papunta sa Turkey. Sa Turkey, prepare nila for distribution papunta sa Europe, European countries for the manufacture, synthesis at refine of the raw opium na yan. Kaya from Middle East, nagmula dayjay. Once na nagmula, tumubo, kinuha nila yung mga droga, yung raw opium, then ipupunta sa Turkey. Sa Turkey naman, they prepare it for distribution to other countries. Once na distribute yan, pupunta sa Europe for manufacturing, synthesis sa mga laboratory. Pag na-manufacture na refine sa Europe, diretso na sa United States for marketing purposes. Kaya sa US, yan po yung bagsakan. Bagsakan. Kasi kaya pag binili nila doon ng 1,000 pesos, pag pumunta na sa US, nagiging $100,000. Pag $1,000, ang puhunan nila sa Middle East, pagpunta doon sa US, baka $1 million ang magiging nila, mga patong. Parang ganyan. Kaya yung business na yan, napaka yaman. Okay? That is the important traffic drug route natin. So, we also have the first important drug traffic route. First important drug traffic route. Ano ba yung first important drug traffic route natin? Kuhan muna natin. Yan. Share screen muna mga kaibigan. So, under the first important traffic drug route, na yan, we have, yan, makikita, yung red, that is opiates. Pag sa green, that is the cocaine. Yung red, the opium poppy. Kaya makikita doon yung golden crescent, the golden triangle. Yan, iba-iba. So, saan ba yung Pilipinas dyan? Yung Pilipinas doon sa malapit sa golden triangle. Daanan po yan. Daanan ng mga papunta, yung mga nagbebenta ng cocaine. Kasi yung Pilipinas, we are surrounded by water. Kaya madaling daanan yung Pilipinas. Katulad din sa Hong Kong, surrounded by water yan. Kaya lang masyadong stricto yung mga law enforcement agency nila doon. Kaya karamihan nahuli. Pero sa Pilipinas, wala. Medyo malayo pa tayo pag bagsakan ng droga. Mga bata pa kayo noon, maraming nakuha dyan sa Pangasinan na mga drugs. Kasi dyan nila binabagsak yung mga droga. Nakadrum yan. Binabagsak nila sa dagat. Kasi ang bagsakan dito sa La Union, Pangasinan, Ilocos, ibabagsak doon sa dagat, kokontakin yung nasa land, example, nasa kokontakin, binagsak na namin yung droga. Kuha na kayo ng mga motorboat o mga bangka, mag-rent na kayo dyan. Papunta naman yung bangka, kunwari mangingisda. Pero ang totoo pala, kukuhanin nila yung droga doon. Ganyan yung marami yung mga technique nila kung paano po kung paano yung mga modus operandi of the drug syndicate. Napakarami. Napakarami mga kaibigan. So, makikita naman sa picture ya, Golden Triangle, the Burma, Laos, and Thailand. Pilipinas. Yan, hindi nyo ba alam yung Pilipinas ay malapit na noong maging #1 na producer ng marijuana. Yan, yung Mexico lang yung #1, tayo po Pilipinas #2. Pero ngayon medyo stricto na kasi nandyan na po yung Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, yung PDEA. Yan, di ba mga kaibigan? So, hanggang dyan lang muna tayo mga kaibigan, mga katropa tips, mga drug education student. Medyo maganda yung trono ko ngayon. Maganda palang umupo dito. So once again, thank you very much for listening sa online class natin. Pasensya na, wala yung notes ninyo. If you want to have a notes, then message nyo lang ako. Messenger, then I will be providing notes. Hindi ko alam kung ilang pages yon. Kaya hindi naman pwedeng soft copy. Kailangan hard copy. Mas maganda yung matigas, di ba? Yan, parang nakadroga lang. So, once again, maraming salamat. And see you again next meeting. Okay. Good morning. Pero dito, good evening. Yan.